Paresh, we've had a really diverse show so far. I mean, I feel we've just been sitting here chilling in our living room, and we've heard some really great chill out tracks. We've had a conversation with Abhijit Pohankar. I'm sure you have something else up your sleeve, don't you?
I do, and it's funny you should mention that because I was looking at my Rolodex of names that I could call into the show and see if I could bring somebody else who fits the mood. And I scrolled past her name and I had to go back because this is truly the story of success when it comes to music and doing what you love. And remember, folks, Smugglers is all about the fact that we love music. We've said that repeatedly. We've said that to a point where we've hammered it into your heads. We love music. And I cannot think of somebody else who epitomizes that right now in today's day and age than Devika.
Oh, that's brilliant. Wow.
And Devika, just to give you a little bit of a rundown on who she is, you've probably never heard the name. You've probably heard her songs, but never actually connected two and two together. Let me tell you a little bit about Devika. Devika came onto the scene with a song called Candela Nena.
Right. Back in the day.
Yep, and that it was back in the days, really August 2007. If you think about it, it's not that far back. But she's been working in music for approximately 6 to 7 years before that. And this was her breakout song. And Candela Nena has actually been featured on so many CDs, including one that says the top 14 music Sufi tracks of all time.
That's true. And in fact, Paresh, if you think about it, there are not too many women in this space. I mean, other than Abida Parveen and the likes, she's kind of taken a very unique segment where women are really very prominent.
Yeah, and I can think of only maybe three people, three women. There's Devika, there's Abida Parveen, and there's Rekha Bhardwaj. And those are the only three people I can think of who are actually big in the Sufi/lounge, easy listening space. And she just released a new album called Sari Raat. So I thought I'd give her a buzz and truly bring her into our living room and talk to her and see what this is going on, because this is something that is our story. Vishal, I'm a computer science graduate who's working on a radio show. You worked in telecommunications, working on a radio show. Sachin, who is currently asleep, computer science, working on a radio show. We're doing something we love, and Devika epitomizes that for us. So let's just flip over to Devika. I know she's holding on the line right now. Talk to her real quick, and then we'll come back and talk to you guys after that. Devika, this is Paresh. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you, Paresh?
Fantastic. Is this still a good time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for talking to us. I know it's a short notice.
I know, it's wonderful. It's nice that you guys reached out and you like my music, so that makes a big difference. That sounds like fun.
So, Devika, you're currently in India, right?
I'm in Delhi right now and been here for a while to promote my album, and the album was launched here on the 17th of November. So it's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome. So you've lived there, not lived there, but you've been there, 3 weeks, 4 weeks now?
Actually, a little bit more, about a few months. I've been here to kind of work on the album release plan with Saregama and, work out the promotional exercise and everything.
But it's not bad for you, right? So it's Delhi's home, pretty much.
Yeah, Delhi's home. Actually, I grew up in Delhi, and I was in Delhi till I was, in high school. I finished high school here, and then I went to Washington, D.C., and then I moved to the San Francisco Bay Area. So I'm from San Francisco, and now I kind of try and spend time between both Delhi and San Francisco, so that I can do more music and release more music.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you went about picking up music?
Actually, I somehow wanted to sing ever since I was a kid, and one fine day I came home and told my mom that I really want to sing, I really want to learn to sing. Mm-hmm. And so from that point on, she sort of got me, music instructors, and she would take me to my music lessons. And I started learning on the harmonium and basic vocals, you do your sargams and so forth.
Wow.
And then after that, I had a few teachers who trained me in classical music. Mm-hmm. When I moved to the States, then I was at Georgetown doing computer science and math, and I sort of, music kind of went a little bit into the background, and I had given it up for a while until I went to a concert by Ustad Ali Khan Sahab, and I was, really reminded of all my classical music, and I was really missing it, so I got back into it.
I was looking at the liner notes, and I was surprised, pleasantly surprised to see Shahzad Hassan.
Right.
And I grew up, and everybody in the listening community for Christ Smugglers grew up listening to Vital Signs. So tell us how that came about.
I think it's really fate or destiny or something. When I was starting to work on my first album, we somehow bumped into Manesh Judge and Noor Lodi, who are fantastic musicians who live in the Bay Area. And I started work with them on my album, and through them, since Noor is from Pakistan, he knows Shahi really well. So he connected me with Shahi. So I was just really lucky that I was able to get in touch with Shahi, and We worked on the first album, on a few songs from the first album together. We just collaborated and sent things back and forth until we were happy with it. For the second album, it so happened that Shahi was visiting the Bay Area and I got to meet him, and we decided that we would start work on the full project. We started work, we started jamming, and we started recording, and things just fall into place sometimes.
That's amazing. And what's funny is, as I was listening to the live version of the track off the album, as soon as the guitar kicked in, maybe it's fate, maybe it's the fact that I'm just an addict to Vital Signs and Junoon from growing up.
Right.
I heard the guitar work and I was like, that has got to be either Shazad Hassan or it has to be somebody I know, because there's just a signature the way the guitar is played by certain players. It was just amazing.
Yeah, he is just fantastic.
And Devika, the Smugglers are big fans of your new album, Sari Raat. Congratulations, it's a phenomenal album, and we'd love to know more about it. So can you tell us a little bit more about Sari Raat?
It started when Shahi came to the US, and we, Barkha Bahar was the first track that we recorded. We did rough vocals for that, and I fell in love with that track. So that really set the stage for the rest of the songs, both from a theme perspective and from what is the emotional core of the album. And it was a lot of fun, but it was also really hectic.
One last favor I have is in introduction to the track, why you love this track, and a little bit about the live version.
The live version was sort of an improvisation based on a live performance that we did, and we were looking for the last track of the album, and I wanted it to be special, but really I knew that it would be hard to top Barkha Bahar. So, it struck me, I'm like, well, why don't I do Barkha Bahar live and create sort of a slightly more upbeat and a slightly happier version. It's a little bit more upbeat than the original Barkha Bahar track. I had a lot of fun singing this track, and it reminded me of the time that I performed with Shahi and Manesh and Noor, and a lot of fun. And I think that shows, that sort of comes through in the track.
All right, Devika, thank you so much for chatting with us. I know it's a short notice. I really appreciate you answering my phone call. I know it's early in the morning.
Thank you.
So, why don't you take us home? Why don't you tell us? Why don't you introduce the track first, and then we will talk to you soon.
This is Devika, and you're listening to my track Barkha Bahar, and you are on the Curry Smugglers.
Barkha Bahar. Bahar सकती ना तन्हा मोहे ये रतियाँ मोहे ये रतियाँ कोई ना जाने मन की ये बत्तियाँ मन की ये बत्तियाँ कैसे बताऊँ कोई समझ न पाए बरखा बहार आए पिया नहीं आए बरखा बहार आए पिया नहीं आए रातों में तारे गिने आंसू बहाए बरखा बहार आए पिया नहीं आए बरखा बहार आए पिया नहीं आए बरखा बहार आए
That was Barka Bahar, the live acoustic version performed by Devika Chawla. Isn't that an amazing track?
I think it was awesome. I think it was a great way to kind of close out and ease out the show. The track really puts you in the right kind of mood, makes you completely chilled out. But I mean.